Hey, it's the Tuesday. I'm Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
We got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. Mortal Kombat in particular.
Lots of MK news as the past few weeks have been.
That's correct.
And obviously,
we'll talk about the RedBull Kumite. There's been some other game and tournament news,
But first of all, I really wanted to... So, I was talking to David before we start. I really want to talk about something huge. I guess it was just announced by Mad Catz earlier today that Daigo is retiring.
It was just this morning.
Yeah, so
March 31st.
Returning, so I guess he's normally we would expect this to be like an April Fool's joke or something like that, but it's March 31st. Clearly,
I can't do it, James.
Clearly not April.
I was trying not to laugh, and then I was even going like this to like cover my smile, and I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
That's fine. But it was really cool that, Full Schedule was willing to volunteer his stick to be used in the calculator, with all the buttons.
I actually didn't watch that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Are we live?
I'm pretty sure we're live, aren't we?
It's like, I'm on the thing, and it's like not happening.
Should we try again then? All right. I guess I was only doing local recording. Okay. See, now you have a second chance.
Okay.
Now you have a second chance. Okay. Do you think you can do this?
Maybe.
Okay.
Sorry
about that.
It's cool.
Okay. See, we gave you a practice run there. Okay. Ready? All right. Now I don't know if I'm not going to be able to laugh, but we'll see. Okay.
Hey, welcome to the Tuesday show. My name is Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
We have a lot of good stuff to talk about. Mortal Kombat in particular.
That's right. Lots of Mortal Kombat news as par for course these past couple of weeks.
I cannot wait to just prattle on about that game. But other than that, there's the RedBull Kumite. We'll talk about the results from this past weekend. We'll talk about upcoming tournaments and game news in general. Right. But that's not what we're going to lead with.
Right. So there was something that was announced earlier today that was kind of a shock. Right? I guess Mad Catz announced that Daigo was retiring from fighting games and is going into accounting. And I don't know. I guess he's just kind of had enough. I mean, when you look at the article and everything like that, it was talking mostly about him like really feeling like he needed to kind of like body the accounting world and stuff like that and take care of that.
I've always appreciated it when people retire when they're good. When they're at the top of their game.
I guess that's true.
I've always thought that was the best.
Right.
Nobody wants to watch Wayne Gretzky end up with the Rangers. Well, actually, he led the league in assists or something. But in any case, it was sad.
I mean, here's the thing, right? I mean, obviously, a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is April Fool's joke" or whatever like that. But clearly, it is March 31st still.
I mean, I have my phone and everything here.
It is clearly...
It says March 31st.
So there's no way this is an April Fool's joke because they wouldn't be releasing this early or anything like that.
Big news,
Yeah, obviously it's not April 1st in Japan or anything where this,
I don't think
news
so.
originated
as far as I know.
That. Yeah.
Well, I guess we won't be seeing him at upcoming tournaments, but
it's unfortunate. So,
but you wanna review one where he just was at this past weekend?
Sure, but I did want to mention one thing about. So if you watch if you actually looked at the retirement news for Daigo, he had a new joystick with a bunch of buttons on there for calculating purposes. So he could like SRK, he could show you the spreadsheets.
Sure.
But, I mean, I really am very happy that Full Schedule was willing to, have his stick be the prototype for Daigo Umehara's, crazy 12-button joystick or whatever it was. So,
They actually might have borrowed, it was Sako's stick. Sako's stick, I think, actually has 12 buttons on it. Or somebody, I think it's Sako. But anyway, let's talk about the RedBull Kumite. It was this past weekend. A bunch of players were invited to Paris, France. A lot of top-level players from across the world. They included, I guess we'll just go through how they ended up.
Sure, no problem. So 14 players were invited to this event.
Yeah.
And 2 players qualified through a special tournament,
right?
And a last chance tournament. And so outside of the 14 people who qualified, the 2 extra people who got in were, Kongster and Gagapa, right?
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
There you go.
That actually ended up being good, as we'll go through. I'll just do the whole 16, I guess, because there's not that many. Tied for 13th were Kongster, Reinhardt, Mago, and Fudo.
Wow.
Tied for 9th were Shushu, Luffy, Snake Eyes, and Dominion. Another pretty good list. And then tied for 7th, now in top 8, were Gagapa and Valmaster. So Gagapa Bison. So he qualified from the open bracket, and he did better than the whole host of players.
And then half the people.
Yeah, that's awesome. Then Razor's Shen got 5th with Gen and Poison. Umehara Daigo got 5th with Evil Ryu. 4th was Infiltration with DeCapri and Akuma. 3rd place was Black Eye Nemo with Rolento.
Mm-hmm.
2nd place, Mad Catz Tokido, Akuma, and winner of the whole thing finally,
Bonchan
Sagat.
That's right.
Also Sagat and Ryu.
That's right. I heard about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 things first, right?
Yeah.
One, it's interesting that Daigo is at this event and he's retiring, but he's still going to show up to NCR.
Oh, he still will be there. That's nice to make an appearance.
And I think he's going to be at all the events for the rest of the year as well. So
I mean, you can be retired and also that's not mutually exclusive.
He's basically following the PR Raw plan of retirement, right? So, but I totally forgot what the second thing I was going to say was.
Okay, no problem. Yay, Bonchan. So it's not actually the first tournament that he's won. But certainly he's gotten 2nd place a lot, or top 8s in general. He hasn't won too often. I think only one major. This is a big one because there were a lot of really good players here. Mm-hmm. He overcame bad matchup after bad matchup.
Right. He basically has a very unfair reputation now for finishing 2nd place. Even during the course of that streak, he finished 1st in a tournament somewhere, and he still had that reputation for no reason. So
that's I don't know, but but it's really nice that he won. Like I said, it was bad matchup after bad matchup. He beat Akuma, who's beaten Sagat in every version of the game.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He did that a couple of times. He actually beat Daigo with Ryu, regular Ryu,
right? Which is really odd. The whole thing about it is odd.
I feel like Ryu does pretty well against Evil.
Right.
She just has these mobility and footsies.
Right, I agree.
I don't know.
But the whole thing about it is Bonchan's never used another character. He even said his Ryu's not very good. And Daigo left Ryu, specifically go to Evil Ryu, and then he loses to Ryu.
Right, yeah.
To his good friend, his training buddies. I don't know. The whole thing just seems really.
Presumably they played that matchup because they do train together.
Yeah,
right? So,
unless Bonchan's been keeping that a secret from Daigo or something.
Yeah, I don't know. He also beat Luffy Rose.
Really?
He did.
Oh, so the match that he got dominated pretty badly at Evo.
And he beat Infiltration DeCapri. I feel like all those characters beat Sagat.
Okay.
So I just, the whole time I was really, really impressed. He played excellently. Some of his matches were really down to the wire, really fun to watch. But a lot of his defense was ridiculous. Okay, his defense was unbreakable. So Nemo was in there just ripping through everybody. All right, he was in losers, but so scary. His offense is unlike any Rolento's.
Right,
is amazing. He was just cracking skulls, cracking shells the whole time, right? And he played against. Wait, did they? Am I getting this right? I feel like they did play, right? Yeah, they did. Okay, that was just want to make sure. And Bonchan just blocked everything, everything.
Yeah,
it was crazy. He won 3-0.
What? Really?
Yeah, he did.
Holy crap! Okay. Yeah, I mean.
It was really remarkable, I thought.
I'm super glad that Nemo actually made it out to this event, for one thing, because I think it's really awesome to finally see a Rolento at that level. I mean, it was really interesting, because I basically had to follow this through Twitter. I didn't have a chance to see it, so I need to throw out this caveat right there. I haven't seen any of it. There's no archives. It's nowhere on YouTube right now, so I'm kind of SOL right now. So, but even I saw Ricky tweet, and she was like, "Oh my god, I've learned so much about this character watching Nemo play, right?" And it's just it was really interesting that even someone as good as Ricky is learning stuff from Nemo. You know?
Definitely he had setups and timings that I just have. He made EX off the wall look like it was usable. He had like anti-air close stand short or medium kick. One of those, like the knee.
What?
I don't know. It worked. And he did close stand fierce, like this thing, you know, that you only see people doing combos, but like he was hitting the sky.
Interesting.
I don't know. It was just so good.
Third place, beating
third
all
place. That's
beating
right.
all these people. So
Infiltration went with DiCaprio a lot. His DiCaprio is interesting. There's a lot of mobility there. He plays. I don't know. I feel like I'm always confused by DiCaprio because I just feel like she doesn't have a game plan really. But it's weird because I feel like she's really good, but like lacks like a cohesive game plan. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. But anyway, he looks good.
I mean, do you think that Infiltration's DiCaprio looks better than his Akuma, or do you like?
I mean, I don't think so, but I guess he does.
He's using DiCaprio a lot now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's who we used that final round. That's who he's using at the RedBull Kumite, and his results just haven't been that great with DiCaprio. So there just must be something about the character that he finds extremely fun to play.
I mean, there are some matches like he played DiCaprio against Nemo Rolento, and I can totally see how DiCaprio should beat Rolento. Like her punishes should be really good,
or be better than Akuma in some ways.
Right. And her pressure should be really good against Rolento's bad wake up, but Nemo is just
Nemo's.
I mean, he's a different beast.
Right.
So
Exactly.
it didn't work like that. Anything else to talk about? Well, I guess you haven't had a chance to watch.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch, but I mean, there's just a lot of really interesting things there. Like, for example, Valmaster getting 7th, Gagapa getting 7th. I did watch one match, and that was Gagapa versus Nemo, or versus Nemo. And I did manage to see that one part where he, like, ultra through the reset that Nemo tried at the end of a round, basically to take game 2. He was, like, one of the only people that actually came close with Nemo, right? Because I heard Nemo, like basically 2-0 to everybody.
Nemo did really, really well, for sure. Yeah. You sent him to losers. I'm trying to figure it out.
And apparently one of the biggest things that
Daigo.
happened at that event was not even game-related necessarily, but was Tokido.
Yeah. So I
Tokido
I
calling out
on
Bonchan, yeah. So for those people who, I guess the story goes like they interviewed him right before they played in winners finals, and they asked him, "Oh, what if he busts out Ryu on you?" And he's like, "I'll body him." Yeah. He's like, "What if he plays the God?" And he's like, "I'll still body him."
Yeah.
And then
Tokido. And then before grand finals, by the way, Bonchan was coming from losers.
Yes.
Right. Tokido made mention of the fact that he always gets second place. And that he's sorry, but tonight his opponent is Tokido.
I love that guy. Dude.
Tokido's so good. I mean, I don't know if it's real or not, this rivalry, because I don't remember them shaking hands afterward, or else it was like very terse. And then
I read an article somewhere, that after they didn't hug or shake hands after the winners finals match.
Okay.
So I don't know if there is some sort of craziness going on.
I don't know, but that's really good because I definitely wanted to talk about the show aspect of this as well.
Yeah, that's right.
It was definitely a show. Lots of interesting ideas. I felt there was a halftime show that I didn't see that I heard was like off the wall crazy.
I heard it was bad.
I heard it was terrible from some people, and that other people found it hilarious. And that it might be like a cultural difference, but
yeah, I mean, I think I saw parts of it because I literally had the phone on at one point, and it was Omega mode, and someone was using Gen and just going short, and it was like some bald dude in some weird party hat, goofy kind of thing with shades on or something, and and like
something weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. But so it was inside like a ring or like an octagon or something, and they had intro music.
Like
the players would walk into the ring, and they would have intro music the whole time.
There
was exit music even.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Sad music, you know.
I noticed that there had to have been like at least 6 or 7 different camera angles with camera cranes and stuff. A lot of panning shots and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think you're right.
It was really slick.
They had I thought was kind of a cute idea. I think other people weren't as happy with it. When a player lost, they walked over to this little cage where there was locks on the side of it, and they had to like remove a lock after they lost to like signify like you're getting who the winner is getting closer to like opening up this cage with the prize inside. Which I thought was interesting. I don't know. I thought it was a different idea anyway. But you know, there are some things that are a little bit over the top. But you know, it's a Red Bull. It's a Red Bull esports event. So like from that perspective, I felt like it basically went how I would expect.
Right. Well, here's a question for me though: is that I think you actually touched upon this on Twitter, but they were apparently playing a lot of just music, like from animes, from games, and other stuff like that. Like, did they procure rights to all that stuff, or how did that even work for them? You know, like
my guess is no, but I don't really know. I was linked by somebody to the French version of ASCAP, which I forget what the name is.
Okay.
Sesam or Sacam or something like that. Anyway, so it's a little bit different in terms of how they had their arts and rights regime when it comes to music and publishing and stuff. I'm not really sure what the differences are, but my guess is that they didn't. I mean, whatever. You know, it's like it's not that big of a deal. Like at least in the U.S., chances that they would get sued are like pretty minimal.
Right. Okay.
I don't know, but it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's also another thing that, you know, I always bring up is that it's really practical to kind of do stuff like that. I feel like in exhibitions, because you know everybody that's coming ahead of time, you can prepare all the intro. Did they have like little drawings of all the people or something like that, or when they introduced them? Because I saw a drawing of like Daimonian or something like that. I don't know if it was from the RedBull Kumite, but yeah. So I don't know. I don't remember. It was neat to see all that production value and stuff like that. I mean, obviously Red Bull has a lot more budget than all the other events, so you know, I'm sure. Hopefully, you know, if Capcom Pro Tour keeps taking off and, you know, all these things keep growing and stuff like that, we'll be able to get to that point. So
yeah, I felt like the graphics were really nice. The stream graphics I thought were really good.
Okay. Cool.
There were definitely things that I liked about it. There were things that were over the top too. So
okay, so some people are saying that there were no drawings or anything like that. So I don't know where that came from then. Okay.
All right. Well, it was nice of Tokido to like live up to the you know, entertainment of the moment.
Well, Tokido's always been like the main Japanese player to do that, right? He's done that his whole entire time. Like I think I've mentioned before, even the first Evolution 2002, you know, Tokido had the first Tokido pose. He did the first Tokido pose where he beat Nuki in CVS2 in Grand Finals and did the whole like weird like Tokido pose thing, and then he did the thing against poor Clayky D, and then you know he's the one who before the murder face he was the Iceman. You remember that? He was like the Iceman in that tournament that he did the Raging Demon to Clayky D. He wasn't even murder face yet. So.
Oh, I actually don't remember that.
Yeah, he entered as the Iceman.
Did he really? Oh, dang.
Yeah, so I love that guy. Like I think it's really awesome what he does, and I think it's good, and I'm glad to see him do well at this tournament as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, on top of being a good entertainer, he's one of the best fighting game players in the world. So.
Yep.
Anything else to say about RedBull Kumite?
I mean, just kind of talking about the people who placed a little bit lower there. I mean, do you feel like for example, Ryan Hart finishing in last place, right? I mean, he's suffering from a character crisis.
I mean, look, Fudo, Mago, Ryan Hart were all last place.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's going to happen. In a 2 out of 3 double elimination 16-person tournament where everybody's really good.
Yeah, right.
So, you know, sometimes it's just going to happen like that. So if I were those players, I don't think that I would be too upset with myself. Of course, you're not happy, but you know, I feel like those are two matches that you could lose.
Right. Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So
like for example, like Ryan Hart lost to Tokido. And then he lost to Gagapa.
Which characters did he use? I'm curious.
He used several. He used Sagat, Evil, and Yun.
Okay. So really, I think what it just comes down to is he needs to settle on a character. And
at least, I mean, two would be helpful rather than three or four or whatever he's got going. I don't know, but okay.
Okay. That it? Cool. Yeah. I don't know. Do you want to take a break before we start talking about the upcoming events?
Sure.
And such like that? Okay.
Let's do that.
We'll be right back.